It is now probably everybody's favorite week of the NFL season, and yes, that's right, I am talking about Pro Bowl week. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the 5 worst players to ever be invited to the Pro Bowl. So if you somehow didn't know about the Pro Bowl, well, the best players in the league supposedly are invited to play in it. It's a great honor, it goes on your stats, helps you get into the Hall of Fame, and they just kind of hang out and play. They used to play a Pro Bowl game, and then the players just didn't like that, and now they play like dodgeball and two-hand touch. But anyways, it is still an honor, and it does really impact Hall of Fame chances. Because let's say, if you played for 15 years and you have 2 Pro Bowls, you're probably not going to make the Hall of Fame. So, it is still important. To start things off, this is the one that was fresh in my head that made me think of doing this video, and that is because it just happened last year, and it was Tyler Huntley. Yes, the Ravens' backup quarterback. I know, he's a really good backup quarterback, or a pretty good backup quarterback. But, Pro Bowl? I'll look at the stats and let you decide. In 2022, Huntley started 4 games. He threw for a grand total of 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. So, not too impressive. But you may think, hey, did he win all these games? No, he was 2-2. Did he run the ball in a lot? Like, did he get a lot of rushing yards, a lot of rushing touchdowns? No. He got 1 rushing touchdown and 130 rushing yards. So how did he make it? And the answer is, honestly, I have no clue. I think just nobody else wanted to get in this year. So it is the AFC. You think of the great quarterbacks. There's Justin Herbert, there's Patrick Mahomes, there's Lamar Jackson. There's even like Tua, who's okay. And they're all in the league at this point. All the players I said so far were either injured in the Super Bowl or did not want to play. That left Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence to start, and then they had to just pick for the third one from Tyler Huntley, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, and as you can tell, none of these are all-stars, especially thinking back to 2022. So I think they just thought maybe Tyler Huntley was more popular, or maybe they just would give it to someone who hasn't been there before, or another potential, maybe they offered it to several and everybody just said no. But anyways, I just think that it's the most unusual 2 touchdown pass quarterback getting to the Pro Bowl. Anyways, next up is even worse in my opinion. That is Jeff Saturday. So you might know him from TV. That's what most people know him from nowadays because, you know, he's been on TV for several years, and when he was in the NFL, he was just a center. He was good for a while, but in 2012, he was not. He was old, he had just signed with the Packers, and he was playing terribly. In fact, he was ranked 30th in the league. So, math genius, there are 32 teams. That means 3rd worst in the NFL. Somehow, he got voted into the Pro Bowl. Now, it does get worse, because he was benched in the middle of the season. So, a center who couldn't even start on his own team was playing in the Pro Bowl. That's just crazy. And I don't have a ton of stats because it's offensive linemen, and you know, no stats for offensive linemen. But he was ranked 30th. The offensive line allowed the 4th most sacks in the NFL that year, and quite honestly, I think everyone knows if you get benched, you're not worthy of the Pro Bowl. Next up, Vince Young. So, exciting, thrilling college quarterback, NFL quarterback, bad. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler, and honestly, both times is worthy of this list of terrible Pro Bowl players. First off, in 2006, he threw for 12 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. But he did have 7 rushing touchdowns. So, to be honest, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 2009. So he started just 10 games. And in these 10 games, he threw for 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So 1 touchdown per game and almost 1 interception per game. He did run for 2 touchdowns, but anyways, that's terrible. If your quarterback threw 1 touchdown a game and almost 1 interception per game, you wouldn't like it. You would want a new quarterback. Instead, in 2009, they decided that was Pro Bowl worthy. Up next, Xavier Rhodes, finally a non-quarterback, non-offensive player, and in case you didn't know him, he is a corner, or was a corner. I'm not actually sure if he's still in the NFL or not, but he, at one point, was seen as very good, and then he fell off a cliff. So in 2019, here are his general stats. He had 0 interceptions. He gave up a 81.5% completion rate. If you threw the ball to someone he was guarding, there was an 81.5% chance they were going to catch the ball. He allowed a passing rate of 123.8. That is elite quarterback numbers, and just anybody who was throwing the ball to him was getting that. And how did he get into the Pro Bowl? And this is kind of classic Pro Bowl vibes, where he had gotten it essentially because he was good the past 3 or 4 years. So, classic. But worthy of this list as a terrible player who made it into the Pro Bowl. And then finally, someone that no one's ever heard of unless they're looking at a list of terrible Pro Bowl players, and that is Mike Borla? I don't know. He was an Eagles quarterback in 1975, and he was very, very, very bad. He completed 52.4% of his passes. He had a touchdown to interception rate of 0.5. And in case you couldn't break that down, he had 6 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He only started 5 games. Now, I know this was back when the season was a little shorter than it is today, but it was a lot more than 5 games. So he threw for 6 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He had the 3rd highest interception rate on the year. Terrible amount of yards, terrible completion rate. So was he a running quarterback? No. So that has to be my worst quarterback to make the playoff. So that has to be the worst player I have making the Pro Bowl, since quite simply 2 interceptions for every 1 touchdown. Not going to cut it in the NFL. Not going to cut it in high school either. But anyways, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, subscribe. I'll be releasing more NFL content for you to enjoy roughly every week if I can. Thanks. Bye.